Good evening. Now, I know many people in the room, but for those of you who don't know me, I'm Graham Henderson, Vice-Chancellor of Teesside University, and I hope you liked our little video that was produced courtesy of some of our colleagues at the university, and I hope it gave you a little flavour of our region. You know, as Sandy, my chairman, announced at the start of the evening, we're delighted to be the sponsors this year of the North East Economic Forum. It's a great delight to do that, and it's great for me to get the chance to open the second half of our evening. And I'm especially delighted that in a few moments' time, you know, I'll have the privilege of welcoming the Secretary of State to come and speak to us all. But I guess you guessed from my accent. I thought I'd lost my accent, but apparently I haven't. So there we are. But you probably guessed from my accent. I'm a Geordie boy who now lives down on Teesside. I've worked in the higher education sector here in the North East for well over 30 years now. I started in Newcastle, then Sunderland, now down on Teesside. And all I can say is that that's given me a chance, I think, to experience firsthand what I would say is the enthusiasm, the passion, the determination, the resilience that gives me personally just huge confidence in the future of our region. You know, I just believe in the North East. I'm from the North East, different parts, but I just believe in the North East. And I speak as someone, I can only say, I'm enormously proud that I lead an organisation that just places the North East economy at the heart of everything it does. It's just what we do, it's what we're about, and we're very pleased to do that. Trying to provide the skills we need, driving the enterprise and innovation we need, and working very closely, intimately with businesses and communities in everything we do. And I think it's important for me to say, although I'm the Vice-Chancellor of Teesside, I know I speak for all the Vice-Chancellors in the North East when I say we really are, all of us, absolutely committed to doing everything we can to help the economic and cultural and social development of our region. And I think we're really quite excited about the prospect of getting really deeply involved with the activities of the two new local enterprise partnerships. And I think it's important to me, and I think it's very significant, that both in the North Eastern LEP and in the Tees Valley LEP, that the private sector partners and public sector partners have seen fit to involve the universities in their activities through representation on their leadership boards and so on. That's a very important statement that we're very delighted about. And for me personally, I'm very fortunate then that not only do I serve now on the Tees Valley Leadership Board for their LEP, but I was also on the board of their two predecessor bodies, Tees Valley Limited City Region Board, and before that the Tees Valley Partnership. And that's given me a chance to see firsthand two things I think that I'd like to say. I've seen over a period of probably 10 years the strengthening of the relationship between the local authorities and the Tees Valley. And that's been really important from a sort of nervousness in the early days. I hope that doesn't offend anyone from the local authorities, but from a nervousness of work to an absolute belief now that working together is more important than working separately, and also a strengthening relationship between the public sector and the private sector, and I think that's been important too. And what we're ending up with now in the Tees Valley, I believe, personal view, we've just seen the emergence of a strong and I think a very widely supported local vision for the future of the Tees Valley economy, but set in a much wider North East context, and I think that's really important. And the universities in the region want to play the biggest role they possibly can in all of that, in terms of the LEPs, but also wider things. I just mentioned some new business creation support, higher skills development, linked to changing needs, and they are changing, we recognise that, supporting enhanced business performance through innovation knowledge transfer, getting involved in major regional growth fund bids, the business coaching for growth hubs, STEM development, technology innovation centre, knowledge transfer network type developments. All of those things are ways in which we believe the universities can be pivotal to the future economic generation of our region. And I think we also recognise that it's important for us to try and maximise that contribution. I'd just like to say, obviously I'm from Teesside, just two sentences about the way in which just some of the things we've done. We've supported in Teesside, just in recent years, the launch of over 300 new companies, 300 small business startup companies. We're now starting companies in our university at a rate of 6 a month, which for us, you know, well, I don't know how you would feel. 6 a month seems quite a lot to me. We've led the development of the major digital city initiative in the Tees Valley, a major regeneration project, which is aimed at trying to build a new digital supercluster of companies in Tees Valley. So far, we've generated over 160 new businesses, digital businesses on Teesside, and that's been an important contribution. We helped Tees Valley Unlimited to write their higher level skills strategy for the sub-region. We provided assistance to a large number of companies who are trying to position themselves with the skills they need to respond to the economic downturn. And we offer, with our FE partners, interestingly enough, what we call a one-door business support system. Whatever the support needs are of local companies, particularly SMEs in the Tees Valley, we try and offer access to those. And alongside that, we've developed a 5-year knowledge exchange programme working with 135 different companies in the Tees Valley at the present time. We're delighted to see the launch of the Technology Innovation Centre, the High Value Manufacturing Centre based around the Industrial Biotechnology Centre at CPI in Teesside, and we are keen to get involved in that. We're currently the partner in no less than 3 expressions of interest under RGF2, major projects, all supporting the statement of ambition of the Tees Valley LEP. You know, we currently provide the second largest number of workforce development, what we call co-funded students of any university in the country, trying to support local businesses. And of course, we try and meet the needs of local employees. And just as an aside, nothing to do with the industry, we are also the lead sponsor of 2 academy schools in Teesside and a co-sponsor of 4 trust schools in Teesside. And that's just part of what we as Teesside do. Times that by 5 across the region, and it'll give you some flavour, I think, of the contribution that the universities here in the North East can make. And it's all about trying to create the skills, the new markets, the new job opportunities that are going to increase our economic competitiveness. And I'm sure that, as I say, all the other vice-chancellors, I know there's a number of university people in the room, I'm sure they would all agree that that's really important about what we're about. And so I really have nothing more to say other than, you know, I believe that we can make the North East. The North East is a great industrial economy, but I think we can do a lot to support that, and let's hope so. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's now my honour to introduce the Secretary of State to you. Not that he needs any introduction, I'm sure. But Eric was appointed to his cabinet post following last year's general election, having previously served in the shadow cabinet since 2007 with the same portfolio. Prior to that, he held a number of other key roles: Deputy Chairman of the Conservative Party, Shadow Secretary for Local Government in the Regions, Shadow Minister for Transport, Shadow Minister for London. And since his first election into Parliament in 1992 as MP for Brentwood and Ongar, he has chaired and served on a number of select committees and all-party groups, many of them focused on transport, the regions and local government. And as you well know, he's been very committed to those issues and perhaps more recently as an advocate for civil society and for the balance between local and central decision making, and that's very important. You know, I'm sure you'd agree, we're very glad and pleased to have him here in the region this evening talking to us, and so you probably heard enough from me. And so, if I may, without further ado, can I just hand over to the Secretary of State for Communities and Local Government, Right Honourable Eric Pickles, MP. Thank you very much, everyone.